With the NFL offseason in full swing and the stadium silent, the speculation for the upcoming season is as high as ever. Though the gridiron is momentarily quiet, the excitement is far from over, and actually this may even be the perfect time to dive into some thrilling speculation. So join us as we unveil our very first and highly anticipated 2024 Power Rankings. Let's get started right away with the Denver Broncos occupying the 32nd position. They really lost out big time in the offseason and their draft movements were good but will take time. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Denver finished at the very bottom of the league in 2024. On to number 31, the New England Patriots. They actually had a really good draft and overall a solid offseason. However, this roster is still really poor, and with some recent big changes in the coaching staff, I don't know how much I should trust this team. Moving on are the Panthers. They didn't improve a whole lot, but considering they won 2 games last year, improving really is their only option. They may not be a really good team right now, but the future is honestly slightly bright. Up next, we have the Giants. This is not a good team. I think there isn't even much to say about them. Still, I'm just saying that considering Daniel Jones is their quarterback, tanking for a QB next season may as well be their way to go. In the 28th spot are the Washington Commanders. They have a lot of potential since most of their free agency signings are boom or bust players. However, so far they have nothing guaranteed and they will stay on the low end of the rankings until they prove their worth. Moving on, we have the Raiders. They just declined even more during the offseason as they prepare for what seems to be a bridge year. They won't be the worst team out there, but I don't think they'll get near the playoffs either. At number 26 are the Arizona Cardinals. They are actually way better than people think and their offense could potentially be top 10. However, this is still an unproven team with a bad coaching staff, so we shall see what 2024 holds for them. Up next are the Tennessee Titans. I think it's safe to say they have the worst roster in their division, so no wonder why they are this low. The potential this team has is undeniable, especially for the future, but I think it will take some time before they reclaim the South. Now at number 24, the Minnesota Vikings. They lost their quarterback, so although this is a solid team, that's a huge blow. They're in for a downgrade from last year, but at the end of the day, they might have just found a long-term solution in JJ McCarthy, but only time will tell. On to number 23, the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert is one of the best QBs out there, but outside of him, this team is horrendous. They lost a lot of important players, so I don't think they'll be able to be a very dangerous team this upcoming season. Moving on are the Saints. They could potentially fight for the division, but they don't have the talent to do much more. This isn't a terrible team, but they are not a playoff one either, so I think they will be stuck in mediocrity this upcoming season. Up next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They didn't really improve that much in the offseason, so I wouldn't be too excited for 2024. The potential is definitely there, but they are going to have to exceed all expectations if they want to have a better season this year than last time around. Now in the 20th spot are the Jaguars. I just think they are not built for the big stage, and last year they proved it with their insane late season collapse. This is definitely a solid roster, but until I see they can pull through, I won't rank them any higher up. On to number 19 are the Seattle Seahawks. This is a solid roster, but honestly I think that's about it. They seem to be set as the 3rd best team in the division, so although they have a lot of potential, they'll find it difficult to even get into the playoffs this year. Up next, the Chicago Bears. They are one of the most improved teams out there, but we're yet to see how that team chemistry builds up. This team could win 6 games all the way up to maybe 11, so it's just a matter of how they execute in the season. Moving on are the Colts. They are getting some key players back from injury, and they can really take advantage of their not so tough schedule. I don't think they have the talent to make a deep playoff run, but they may as well be a competitive midfield team. Now at number 16 are the Jets. I'm just not buying all the hype around this team. They definitely got the potential to be a playoff one, but so far they haven't proven anything. Until they show me I'm wrong, I won't regard them as a top tier team. Coming up next, the Atlanta Falcons. This is one of the most improved teams out there with the potential to snag the division without much trouble. Atlanta may not be a Super Bowl contender, but they are definitely strong enough to win any given Sunday. In the 14th spot, we have the Buffalo Bills. They lost a lot of important players this offseason as they crumbled and fell victims to the salary cap. However, Josh Allen and the playoff culture are still there, so I'm not counting them out just yet. Up next, the Miami Dolphins. If this team exploited their full potential, they would win the Super Bowl, as simple as that. However, they haven't been able to do so, which means I'll have to keep them outside the top 10 until they unveil their true potential. At number 12, we have the Bengals. They are getting Joe Burrow back, so I expect them to finish the season a couple spots higher up this list. But regardless, there are no guarantees, so at this very moment in time, they sit just outside the top 10. Moving on are the LA Rams. Despite losing some players this offseason, there is no denying this is a playoff caliber team. I don't think they'll be able to truly contend for the division, but this is a very strong team anyone could lose against. Cracking up the top 10, we have the Cleveland Browns. They have one of the best rosters in the NFL, but coaching and the lack of production is just too much for me. They may get into the playoffs, but right now they sit near the very bottom of their division. Coming up at number 9, we have the Steelers. They are not much better than the Browns, but they improved a whole lot more. They are pretty much guaranteed to have a winning record, and I think this could be the year they finally win a playoff game or two. This team has much more potential than most people realize, but at the end of the day, they just have to execute next season. On to number 8, Dallas Cowboys. The issue with this team is the postseason production, because outside of that, they're probably in the top 5. They kept most key players, so I think 2024 will look very similar than last year over in Dallas. Up next, we have the Packers. They showed a lot of potential late in the season, and I think that will continue through 2024. They may not produce to this level, but I think it's more likely they do than otherwise. In the 6th spot are the Houston Texans. They were already a rather solid team and still made some unimaginable positive moves. They should win their division with ease and become a solidified Super Bowl contender this upcoming season. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens. They made some improvements which should allow them to stay at the top of their division. They are arguably the biggest AFC contenders outside of the Chiefs, so they are actually in a really good position. Up next are the Eagles. They made a lot of important improvements through the offseason and should be ready for another Super Bowl run. The potential is there, but we'll just have to wait and see if the execution is there as well. And now entering the top 3, the San Francisco 49ers. They may have to face a Super Bowl hangover, but I don't think it will be that harsh on them. This is probably the best roster in the NFL, so I think it's fair to rank them in the top 3. In 2nd place, we have the Lions. They were already a top 5 team, and then they had an amazing free agency and draft which boosted them even more. If the Lions want to win a Super Bowl, this is truly the best shot they've had in decades. And finally at number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, I don't think they're necessarily the best team in the NFL right now, but they won the Super Bowl, so until something changes in the league landscape, I won't be able to rank them any lower. But hey, let me know your own opinion down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully you stick around for more.